Thank you, Producer Chase. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County, about 50 miles south of Nashville, 25 miles south of Murfreesboro, the lovely rolling, let me look out, well, not sunshiny green hills of southern middle Tennessee today, but we could use a little rain, folks, so hopefully we're going to get some. It's that time of the month where we have in Scott Collins, the city manager of Shelbyville, to give us the kind of happenings that's going on into our capital city here in Bedford County. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Commissioner. Proud to be here, sir.
Well, glad to have you. I noticed you got a laundry list of stuff to talk about that's going on in Shelbyville. So where do you want to begin?
Well, there's so much right now. It's a great time. Things are moving forward.
You're not getting bored? Is that what you're telling me?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
all right.
sir.
We're doing that board check. Okay, you're not bored. All right.
No, sir. We had a great study session last night. It was a little bit lengthy. I think we went right at almost close to 2 hours.
No kidding.
But
well, it's a good opportunity to have a lot of discussions, and it's a learning thing for the councilman too, right?
Yes, sir. And it's so productive when our mayor and city council engage with the various department leaders on all kinds of.
And they're not going to vote on anything. They're just trying to learn, kind of like a lot like the committee meetings at the county commission.
Yes,
just kind of learn about the topics of what's going on.
Yes, sir. Some very exciting projects too. I had the opportunity to report on a meeting we recently had with the mayor and Dr. McPhee, president of MTSU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there'd been little rumblings that Murfreesboro was making a push to keep the aerospace campus in Middlesboro. And Dr.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Aren't they moving dirt out there already?
Yes, sir.
I thought I saw a lot of dirt work going on.
There is, and they've been a substantial state investment.
Is this where somebody finally went, oh my gosh, what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dr. McPhee was adamant that how thrilled and happy they are to be moving the campus. And within 5 to 10 years, you could see 2,000 students participating, not just simply the flight training, but also air traffic controlling,
airfield management.
Yes, sir.
I think Scott, you make a good point, because a lot of people don't understand. This is just not about training pilots. Yes. This is about training out all those different skill sets required to run an aviation complex, right?
Yes, sir. And he shared some statistics with the mayor, the high demand for aviation. I mean, they cannot keep up with the need for commercial pilots. So MTSU, they're already top 3 in the nation. And with the moves they're making, I know how
Dr. McPhee is. He'll go make that number 1, right?
Going to come number 1.
Very competitive man.
Yes, he is.
And
very pleasant and enjoyable to be with.
And that tells me at some point we'll probably have offices from Delta and Southwest and everybody down here, because that would behoove them to do that. So.
Yes, sir. He shared with us the Phase 1 plans, and they're going to have approximately 12 planes and 50 to 75 students and 24 instructors as early as January. When you say January 2025,
sounds like a long ways away.
It does, sir.
No. I mean, we're talking 60 days?
Yeah,
maybe 80 days.
It is upon us.
Yeah.
And that's what's so exciting, because we've talked. Both the city and the county working together on these various projects. And it seems like you talk, but now all of a sudden,
when you see the dirt moving,
yes, it's beginning.
When you see the dirt moving, and I was by the airport the other day, and I saw a bunch of that dirt moving, so I knew there was progress going on, and of course TCAT's going in out there. Did a tour of TCAT yesterday.
That sounds great, because
what a great facility.
Looking at it, and it's so much bigger than I initially envisioned.
You'd be surprised how big it is when you go out there, and just for our listening audience and they don't know, the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, that's the old VOTEC type training that you might remember. A lot more sophisticated than it used to be. But that's, man, they got so many programs out there where literally folks can start out in jobs after they get their skill sets there and their certificates between $50,000 and $80,000 a year.
Yes,
going through those programs like electrician. I mean, they got more stuff going on out there. And anyway, we're looking forward to that. And thank goodness to Shane Reeves and Pat Morris. They got us that facility here.
Absolutely. Cannot say enough about our state representative, Speaker Pro Tem Pat Morris, and, of course, our Senator Shane Reeves, because they are pro-Shelbyville. Pro-Bedford.
If you haven't been through those, Scott, we need to get you out there. You need to go through that.
Because now I'm a little biased toward it, because my mother worked for, back then, it was a Tennessee Vocational Technical School.
Right, old VOTEC,
and
right.
my mother did financial aid for students, and I saw firsthand the benefits.
So you got family contact. Oh, I mean, you talk about folks getting good paying jobs that they can really contribute to the community when that happens. It kind of improves quality of life.
Absolutely. Cannot say enough good about it. And great leadership. A matter of fact, the new president lives about 4 houses down from me.
He does?
Yes.
And I know where you live.
Yes, sir.
That's my old neighborhood.
He lives on the corner of Pineview and, I guess,
South Breton?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good for him.
And very pleasant man.
Mr. Wright.
Yes,
President Wright, I should say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And,
well, good for him. I talked to him yesterday. I could tell he got invested in the community right away when he got here.
Really quickly. He bought an older home, and as anybody that's ever went into...
So did you.
Yes. There was a lot of work involved.
Well, you don't get bored off duty either.
No. And he's been great. Our Public Works has worked with him, helping remove some debris and everything. We've got... it's just been a great team effort.
Good deal. All right. What else you got going on?
Well, we've been talking about the Riverview District.
Okay.
And last night we presented to the mayor and city council the Phase 1, which we hope to get approval to go to bid next week. Phase 1 will not be as flashy or, as our Public Works Director, the pretty. This is the grunt work.
But you got to have some infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
You just do.
And that's
poor Public Works. They into that, right?
Yes.
The infrastructure.
And that's what this phase.
But you got to have it.
But also, though, you will be able to see some improvements because it will be extending the fly parking lot significantly. And if you've been on the square
a huge deal.
On a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday,
when Glass Hollow's open,
we need parking.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I know. I think that's probably the biggest challenge right now with Glass Hollow is parking, right?
Yes, sir. So we're hoping.
How many slots you going to add? You got any idea, roughly?
Overall, once it's fully complete, overall it will be an additional about 80 to 85 spots.
Because you got Grindstone Cowboy probably opening up in the spring right there, too.
Sir, they're putting the roof on as we speak.
Oh, they are?
They've got glass
they're going to get dried in finally.
They're moving. They are moving. I had the pleasure of meeting with their contractor, the chief guy over it. Great guy. But he's keeping me up to date on how things are progressing, and then, of course, on occasion, I'll run into Mike and Beth Davis there, as well as Craig and Mindy Campbell, and they
country music artists.
Yes, they are.
Who partners with the Davises?
Yes. It's going to be another great addition.
You know what I think is going to happen, Scott, and I know you know this too. You've been in this business a long time. When you get that Grindstone Cowboy and you got Glass Hollow's already getting a lot of customers from like Murfreesboro, Franklin, Tullahoma. So what does that do for the city? And it brings sales tax in, right?
Yes, sir.
But they come here and they leave. We don't have to educate their kids.
Exactly.
Those are the best kind of tax dollars, or sales tax, where people come to our community, pay it, and then they leave. Wonderful. They're almost it's almost like tourism tax dollars.
Yes, sir.
Same thing.
So many of them.
I think the listening audience needs to understand what a positive thing that is for government.
Well,
providing services.
Just our square alone. Bocelli's Pizza.
Yep.
You go
one of my favorite places.
Yes, sir. You go in there and they're packed. Pope's Cafe, one of our time-honored
traditions right there.
Yes, they're always busy. And Shovel Pizza, a new pizza place right down the street from Bocelli's, but both of them are
they're all doing
busy.
Well,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
it just shows there's a demand for that.
There is.
And, and once some of those other things get done down there on the square, I mean, a lot of people coming from outside the county coming here to spend some money and then leave.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We welcome them in.
We do, and
we'll say thank you. And
we like seeing those businesses successful because we got a beautiful square down there.
Yes, sir. And once we get through the various phases, the Riverview District itself will be iconic. I mean, it is going to be a destination because along with it, you're going to have the river walk and the river overlook. Council last night heard that have to spend a little bit more money, a little over $15,000.
Sometimes you got to spend money to make money.
Yes, sir. Yep. And this is for a deeper dive into archaeology. And as you know, Shelbyville is historic. I mean, from the Native Americans to the Civil War and all in.
I had relic hunters on my property the other day finding a lot of Civil War relics. I mean, and that's this whole area.
Oh, yes, sir. And the Native American.
So you do have to take a hard look at that stuff.
Yes, sir. And, we certainly want to make sure we're doing it right.
Don't disturb anything, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Understand the concept.
But the council seemed receptive to it. Of course, we never like to spend money that we feel like we don't have to, but everybody understood the significance of this.
Yeah, a lot of time, anytime you're doing major construction, you're going to probably have to do something like that.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Folks, we're talking to Scott Collins, the Shelbyville city manager, about a plethora of things going on in the city of Shelbyville. We're going to take a 60-second break and be right back.
When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
Kincaid's is proud to offer Beauty Rest Black to our customers. Beauty Rest Black represents a leap forward in bedding with sleep climate technology keeping you cool and triple-stranded pocketed coils to give you luxurious support all night long. Wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day with a new Beauty Rest Black mattress from Kincaid Service Company, 400 Madison Street, Shelbyville, across from the Speedway gas station. 931-684-5662.
On occasion.
This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, Bedford County. We're talking to the Shelbyville City Manager, Scott Collins, about various issues going on in city government here. What else you want to talk about today, Scott?
Well, we had 3 public comments last night.
Oh, okay.
Session.
That's right. For folks that don't realize it, the state of Tennessee passed a law where you have to have, and a lot of governments already did this, but where you have a public comment period. I think normally it has to be is it about something that's on the agenda?
For the study session, they can come.
Oh, and talk about anything. You're right. That's for the council meeting.
On the business meeting, council meeting.
Okay.
It has to be
all right.
agenda related.
Okay.
But we had 3 gentlemen come, all heavily invested and working for the betterment of Shelbyville and Bedford County with soccer. And so the LPRF grant, the Local Parks and Recreation Fund grant, the state awarded the city $2.5 million.
Okay.
But
is that for that additional land out there at the park? Okay.
Yes,
on
sir.
Horse Mountain Road there?
Yes, sir. And the vision and goal is to transform that into a soccer complex. And it's great to get the $2.5 million, but this is a 50-50 match grant. So
okay. Got to put a lot of skin in the game.
A lot of skin.
That's a lot.
But fortunately, the property that we're going to do this on has never been used for recreational purposes. And so with that being said, we get to use the value of the property over $1.7 million. So at the end of the day...
So that's an in-kind kind of thing?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Not
congratulations on that.
At the end of the day, the council is considering whether or not to invest $770,000, which is a large amount of money.
It is, but a lot less than $2.5 million.
Yes, sir. And
so you'll be able to host out-of-town soccer tournaments and stuff then. Okay.
This first phase will be improving the parking area, putting in infrastructure again.
I assume you'll have to really work on the entrances to that area and stuff,
sir.
Off of Horse Mountain. Yeah.
But they shared some information with us, and this is revenue from one weekend of soccer tournaments, and they range everywhere from $8,450 for a weekend to $65,000, $156,000. One weekend, Commissioner, is what once we get.
Is that to the people putting it on, or what kind of revenue?
No, sir. This comes to the city.
To the city. Okay. All right.
And these numbers. This is for use of our facilities.
Oh, okay.
And these numbers do not reflect all the sales tax from groceries,
eating at the restaurants, staying in the hotels, gasoline.
Yes, sir. So we're very excited about the prospect of this. And based on this information...
They come here, spend money, and they leave. We don't have to educate the kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But our local folks get to participate, too. So.
Yes, and that's the key right now, especially
that's a
on
big
this
deal.
first phase.
It allows them opportunity to...
It was reported to us last night that there are over 500 youth in our city and county already participating with
soccer. No
true soccer fields. They are playing on baseball fields, and more or less they have some great games at the park there next to the dam. They play there.
Put up a couple of traffic cones as a goal. And,
yes, sir. It's amazing.
You know, that's one of the reasons soccer is so popular around the world is no matter where you are, you can set up a soccer field.
Yes, sir. Well, our fire chief, Chief Doak, his daughter was a...
phenomenal soccer player.
Yes.
Like scholarship soccer player.
And
professional at one point,
level,
right?
Yes.
Yep.
And he explained to me, because...
he would know.
I'm from East Tennessee, and soccer...
Y'all don't have soccer. Y'all got mountains and hills. You can't play soccer over there, can you?
We finally started introducing it toward the end of my time in the late 90s, early 2000s. But
we've had it for a long time here.
Chief Doak explained to me, well, matter of fact, with one of his younger daughters, he recently went to St. Louis and spent a weekend.
Is that right?
So... you know, it's just amazing the interest in this.
It's a huge, huge, huge sport. It really is.
Yes, sir.
And it's very popular here in Bedford County.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And another positive thing, this was not discussed as part of the meeting, but of course we're keeping the mayor and city council updated.
Right.
Our staff has been phenomenal in working with the officials with Duxon Electra.
Oh, okay.
And we did get the report from the State Fire Marshal's office.
Okay.
Everything is looking good because our mantra has been safety and success. And that was coined by our city attorney, Ginger Bobo Shopper.
Okay, well, good for Ginger.
And we latched onto that. That is our motto, safety and success. And the Duxon officials have been wonderful to work with. Our building and codes director, Brian Stevens, has been diligently, our fire marshal, Jason Richardson.
Yeah, we know
chief,
Jason. Yeah, does a good job.
These people have all been working. We have a weekly update meeting.
Oh, that's good.
Staff. And
it's always good to have the right and most current information, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. Yes, sir. And there's a few things before they go fully operational, but they have worked so well with us and getting the sign-off from the State Fire Marshal's office to ensure that all safety precautions have been in place.
Well, and the state won't allow it unless they do it.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes,
I've worked with them before in the state.
We're very excited about that. Very
excellent.
Excited.
Good deal.
And, of course, in that area, you've already mentioned TCAT. You mentioned the dirt being moved for the MTSU Aerospace Campus. And then you have Walmart doing a expansion on their distribution. And then we're excited about the Juvenile Detention Center, the new facility that should...
Well, that's kind of and there's two benefits to that, right? I mean, the old facility is, quite frankly, horrible.
Yes, sir.
And the state's allowing us to keep it open until we build a new one. But, that's been funded, so it just needs to move along. And then once, I guess the commission will have to vote on it, but, the thought is that ugly building will be gone.
Yes, sir.
To the entrance to your nice square down there, just kind of like the ugly jail is gone.
Yes, sir.
And so it's a double benefit, right?
It is.
We'll have a modern facility, and we'll also have out there in the complex where it should be.
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll also be able to beautify the downtown area. So I think the county's, committed to doing that. So
yes, sir.
We look forward to that.
And we're hoping to sit down talking about the entrance to the square. Classic Hops at the old box factory. They're beginning some design work on that, is my understanding. So we're hoping to sit down with some of the officials from near screen and get a time frame and game plan and see how we can all work together to make another successful.
I tell you, that whole downtown area is going to be fantastic. It's already good, but it's going to be even better, right?
Yes, sir. It's so exciting.
It really is.
Well, and that brings up to one more thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
And I know I've been talking way too much.
No, you got time. This is your show, bro.
But the Bedford County Christmas putting on by the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, that's
going to be exciting, Commissioner.
Well, and what Scott's talking about, in the city and county have gotten together on that.
Yes, sir.
Each donated money, the money set aside, because both governments have a little bit of tourism money. And folks, if you don't realize, it was kind of named a tree lighting ceremony, but it's like 10 times more than that, right?
It is going to be huge. Cannot say enough about, and I went over and talked to him quite a bit.
Sure,
the past, few weeks to make sure we're all working together, because this is their show. They're working so hard on it, but we're so proud to be a part of it. And Dana and Kelly and
they're working hard on it.
Matter of fact, I ran into you there one day.
Yeah, I sat in on one of the meetings just to kind of get a better idea of what was going on, and I should not fail to mention there's a lot of private sector involvement in this as well, not just the two governments. So we don't want to leave folks out, but the amount of detail. I mean, you're talking about fireworks, you're talking about bands, you're talking about reindeer.
Yes.
And of course, tree lighting, and what a great family event that's going to be on the square. And I know they've been working well with all your public safety people as well to put this on.
And we're so excited about it that the mayor and city council last night, they indicated they're going to move their study session, which is supposed to be December 3rd. They're going to move it to December 5th.
Oh,
we want to join.
Well, they want to go to it as well, right? So,
yes.
Folks, you do need to put this on your calendar. December 3rd. It's going to be from 3 p.m., I believe, till about 9 p.m., if I remember right. Don't quote me on the times, but it's a rough time frame. And it's going to be a great family event. It really is. And there'll be a lot more coming out on that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Scott. What a great team effort between city, county, and the private sector.
Yes. Yes, sir. And the final thing I'd like to touch on, Commissioner, is the excitement and enthusiasm from our recent election. You always, as city manager, you always have mixed emotions.
Well, sure you do, yeah.
I've had the pleasure and honor of working with Councilman Gary Hale and Councilwoman Stephanie Isaacs for the past 2 years. They were both on the board that hired me.
Okay.
And both dedicated public servants and have served this city well. And yet we have new members coming in. Council member-elect Stephanie Noel
that's Betsy Noel.
Betsy Noel.
Betsy
I'm
Noel.
sorry.
Nope.
Betsy Noel, and then Councilmember-elect Josh Blevins. They were both at the meeting last night. Mayor Carroll acknowledged and thanked for the service from Councilmember
Sure, absolutely.
and Isaacs, and then welcoming them aboard. So we'll do...
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, Scott, and I know it's always mixed emotions on turnover of elected officials, but yeah, I'm just glad to see that we got folks that want to get involved, that run for office. In a democracy, it is a competition, right?
Yes, sir.
But it always ends up being fairly positive. So I was glad to see there's people that want to get engaged and run for office, and what a great time for doing that. And, you know, obviously recognizing the service of the two council people that are leaving as well, because it's sometimes hard to get people to run for elected office nowadays, you know?
Public service is not for the faint of heart.
It's really not, you know, and the hardest part is not getting elected, and that would be my advice to the new elected ones. Running's the easy part. Governing's the hard part, right? I mean, because you're going to have to make decisions that may be unpopular sometimes, even with your friends. You know, I've been there. And but all you do is just do what you think the right thing, and they'll be fine. So,
well, this morning in my daily devotionals, one of the scriptures was service before self.
That's I love that part.
And for it to hit today, you know, and even on the administrative side, it still comes.
Well, you're in public service, and you have been for a long time, and you used to be an elected official. Maybe a lot of people don't know that, so you've been there and done that.
My record was 7-2. The 7 wins were enjoyable. The 2 losses are sometimes hard to take. But the Lord uses everything to teach us and move us where He wants us to be.
It does, and the thing is, and I was glad to see that there was and I know it's partly because there was a presidential election, but the turnout for voters, I think, was a lot higher than it usually is. So I appreciate all of I don't care who you voted for. I'm just glad folks got out there, and as a career military guy, we like seeing folks that just get out there and participate in the democratic process.
And I would be remiss if I did not mention council member and council member-elect running unopposed, council member Feldhouse.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Was unopposed.
That's right.
And received a very impressive complimentary vote.
Yeah, he did, actually. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so, no, I'm glad you mentioned that, too. That's right. He just ran unopposed, but that's okay. All of us elected officials would like to run unopposed, right?
I had 2 of them races, and they were good.
They were the good ones, right?
Yes.
Well, congratulations to the new 2 city council people that are going to be taking office, I guess, in December. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And, of course, to the service of the 2 that will be leaving, the service they provided. So,
absolutely.
Scott, we're about out of time, but we're willing to stay if you got more to talk about. It's up to you.
Well, I think I've touched on some of the bigger issues. I just want to double check and make sure. Of course, we've got a lot of rezoning and everything. And
there's always that going on, right?
Yes. And we did introduce a new camera system last night.
About LPR?
It is called the OWL. The city council meetings
something different
had been filmed with just one stationary camera
for the meetings.
Yes.
Okay.
And this system, it follows voices. And
so it'll cut to, if a councilman's speaking, it'll cut to them?
Yes.
Oh, that's good technology.
I received an email from the mayor this morning, and we've got to do a little tweaking to it, but it was, for a trial run, it wasn't bad at all.
Well, good.
We're looking forward.
Always seeking to improve, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because obviously that's great. A lot of folks like watching those meetings.
And Commissioner, I mentioned it last night, and I want to mention it here again. Veterans Day is Monday.
It is.
The City Hall and other municipal services will be closed except, emergency personnel.
As well as the county, yeah.
But we want to thank you, sir, personally. We want to thank you for your service to our great country. Mayor Carroll, Vice Mayor Christie.
He was in the Navy,
both
Army,
served.
maybe?
mayor was in the Navy.
He was in the Navy, right?
In the Vietnam era.
Yep.
And Vice Mayor Christie served us through the Army National Guard.
Okay.
And we had an event last night where we had a host of employees that were honored.
You've got a lot of veterans working for you there. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you brought that up. Obviously, the Veterans Day Parade is this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
The city and with county helping out does a great job, along with the other folks in the veteran associations here putting on that parade. I believe it starts at 11.
Yes, sir.
Usual parade route down Lane Parkway, up around the square, out North Main, turning right at Kentucky Fried Chicken, out Madison Street. Folks, please come out, and I'm really glad you mentioned that, Scott. It's a great way to thank the veterans for their service. And the reason we still have our democracy and our republic is because of those veterans. And we don't want to forget them. We want to thank them and remind them. And I'm glad you guys did that. I think the county's doing the same thing at their meeting Tuesday night, recognize veterans that work for the county. So come on out. Veterans Day is Monday. City offices will be closed. County administrative offices will be closed. I believe schools are in session on Monday, but they normally are because they do a lot of veterans programs in the schools. And we appreciate the school system doing that. Anything else you want to talk about, Scott?
Go Eagles. Big playoff game at home tonight that we went to.
Well, I know Dr. Garrett will be there.
We went to Tullahoma last week.
How'd that work out?
My wife and I.
For y'all.
We won.
Yep.
And we had more fans on the visiting side than Tullahoma at their home field.
I tell you, Shelbyville's got a huge following.
Oh, my gosh.
And I remember when I played for Shelbyville playing Tullahoma, that was always a big rivalry.
Well, and so many great young men. Great young men that give their all. People don't realize that
it's a lot of sacrifice.
These winds started last summer.
Yes, when it was 95 degrees out.
Yes.
Yeah, doing 2-a-day practices or whatever.
But I saw one young man that grabbed his helmet and twisted it all the way around, inadvertently, I assume.
It happens.
But he came to the sideline and blood was just gushing.
He's ready.
He was a little wobbly.
Yep.
When the offense went back to the field, there he goes. I mean, the toughness. I mean, you're probably talking a 16, 17-year-old kid in a way, but these young men are really showing out this year, and I can't wait to get there and support them tonight.
You know, in sports, and, you know, Dr. Garrett, the school superintendent, she's a huge sports fan. Of course, she played high school sports, and she's a big supporter, but we've talked about this many times on her radio shows. You know, academics is critically important in the school system, but so is sports because it teaches our young people how to be part of a team.
Community, discipline,
and you get that identity with the school, too.
Yes, sir.
Being a former Eagle myself, and I wasn't that good at playing, but I did play, okay, Scott? But,
that's a testament in itself.
I was in the game, let's put it that way.
Yes, sir. That's a huge testament in itself.
But, well, good. We wish them luck and on the rest of their season. And anything else you want to talk about?
No, sir. I think I've taken up enough of your time.
I appreciate you coming in, Scott, and letting us know. We've been talking to Scott Collins, the Shelbyville city manager, about a whole host of issues going on in city government. I will end with this. I had somebody unsolicited come up to me the other day, and we were talking about a couple of different issues, as we usually are around here locally in government or whatever. And they paid your staff a big compliment. They said, I really like working with the staff at City Hall. They're good people down there. I was told that, and I want to pass that on. Pass that on to your staff. We'll say it on the air here. They really appreciate working with your various folks down there on the staff at City Hall. And appreciate everything you guys do to make Shelbyville a better place to live and work. This is Scott Johnson on behalf of Hopkins Farm Broadcasting, the only locally owned radio station here in Bedford County. Been talking to Scott Collins, the Shelbyville City Manager. Until next time.
Visit Kincaid Service Company today to experience the superior comfort of a Serta mattress. Serta has pioneered sleep innovation for more than 90 years, bringing quality products to more than 150 countries worldwide. Serta Comfort is validated by consumers with thousands of 5-star reviews and are designed and assembled in the U.S. at one of Serta's state-of-the-art facilities. Serta's award-winning mattress collections are created by providing superior comfort along with overall support and breathability. Get Serta Comfort by visiting Kincaid Service Company in Shelbyville. Shelbyville. Online at KincaidService.com. When's the last time you've seen the eye doctor? Don't wait. Whether it's little Carter's first pair of glasses or keeping a good eye on your vision health as you age, your eyes are a precious thing. See personalized care for the whole family and friendly faces at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care on 605 North Main in Shelbyville, across from the U.S. Post Office. Striving to bring you excellence in optometry every single day. Don't put your family's vision off. Make an appointment today at 931-684-2020. Personalized eye care for the whole family at Dr. Hasty Family Eye Care.
When Middleton